Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Auglaize County, Wapak, our home for softball action today. A WBL matchup, and it seems like when these two teams meet, it's always a good matchup. The Celina Bulldogs and the Wapak Redskins. Andy Lynch and Chris Parks with you for the broadcast today. Andy, two teams that are perennially pretty good in the WBL.
They certainly are. Celina has made a state run before. Wapak always right there, always a winning program, and this year no exception. The Redskins, or Celina, the visitors, 9-1 on the season, one league loss coming at the hands of Bath. Wapak is 8-6. They played their first 4 games down in Florida, went 1-3 against a very good grouping of teams. They are 2-1 in the Western Buckeye League as they fell short against Shawnee.
Renee Lovett on the mound for the Wapak Redskins as he throws a first pitch strike to Kylie Bader, and Andy's got numbers on Kylie.
I certainly do. I was looking at Renee, actually. We'll skip over to Kylie Bader. 37 at-bats on the year, does have a homer, 15 RBIs, leads the team in batting average, 486. How about an on-base percentage of 545?
It's Bader, Kuhn, and Vogel coming up. Katie Kuhn, Kaylee Vogel. Ground ball sharply hit to third. That's a fair ball. Past Ashley Cox over there at third base, and Bader's going to get into second. She takes a turn. She's going to third. And Bader, with that quick speed, leads things off with a triple for the Celina Bulldogs.
And a stand-up triple at that. We knew her speed from the basketball courts, and we see it here again as she and Coach Nicole Driggs will go over some signs as Coach Driggs looks at her wristband with the play card on it, and we'll see if Katie Kuhn can bring in the first run of the game.
Runner on third, Kuhn, the second batter for the Celina Bulldogs. She takes a first pitch strike. Steve Trout behind the plate today, the Wapak native. So 0-1 the count.
Kuhn, a .462 batter, 10 runs driven in on the season, has a couple homers to her name.
Swing and a miss at the changeup. Good offering there by Lovett, who is now ahead 0-2, and Andy's got Renee's numbers as well too, with 2.73 ERA. I see too.
That's right, 2 shutouts on the season. Struck out 31 batters looking. 78 hits allowed and 69 in the third innings.
4-3 put out there. Carly Salmons over there to Stacy Miller. And a run does score as Bader comes in, but no runners left on base. Celina takes a 1-0 lead on the RBI grind out there by Katie Kuhn.
And Coach Driggs will take that. Both these teams have been able to score quite a few runs this year, Chris, so runs might not be at a premium like they are a lot of times in the Western Buckeye League when you have 2 prolific offenses like this.
Kaylee Vogel, the next batter. Leah Rose to follow her. Vogel doing the catching duties, has also made an appearance or 2 on the top 5 plays of the week.
Already she has.
Yes, she has. A lot of power in her bat, and she's a very good catcher as well, too. Nicole Driggs and Matt Driggs, I know, love having her in the lineup.
Actually, she leads the team in batting average, .571 average, .914 slugging, but nice catch there by the pitcher, Renee Lovett, helping her own cause quickly to retired.
A little bit windy outside today as well, too. Hoping the rain holds off. It's off to our west right now, about 65 degrees outside. A lot of field here at Wapak, one of the deeper parks in our viewing area.
It goes 230 to center, Chris, 220 to the power alleys, and 210 down the line for Coach Bill Salmon's Lady Redskins.
Outfielders, a lot of ground to cover if you're both Wapak and Celina today. It's a 1-0 Celina lead. Want to thank our scoreboard sponsor, Wabash Mutual Telephone. We'll be calling their names quite a bit today. Wabash, our sponsor today for our scoreboard that you're seeing here on WOSN.
Leah Rose leads the team in home runs, Chris. Celina has hit 12 homers on the season in their 10 contests, 9-1. 4 of them from this bat.
Pitch just missing outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Leah Rose. Alexis Zacharias to follow if it comes down to her.
Set the defense quickly. Katie Sawmiller catching Renee Levitt. Third baseman for Wapak, Ashley Cox. Over short is Amy Hume. The second baseman's Carly Salmons, the senior. And at first, Stacy Miller. There are 7 seniors for Coach Salmon's club. Right field is Morgan Durr. In center field, it is Christy Bailey. And the left fielder is Alexis Schwartz.
Rose strikes out. Good off-speed pitch by Renee Lovett, and that will retire the side for the Celina Bulldogs, but they do get 1 across on 1 hit. We've played a half an inning from Wapak High School with Celina 1 and Wapak coming to bat on WOSN. Bottom of the first, Renee Lovett, Carly Salmons, Amy Hume. The first 3 batters for Wapak facing Katie Kerr, who's had a nice season on the mound, and That one fouled away, caught there by Steve Trout for strike number 1.
It's been an interesting rotation of pitchers. Kylie Bader, has thrown 38 2/3 innings. Katie Kern 19 1/3, both with respectable ERAs. Bader at 2.72 and Kerr at 2.90. So different types of pitchers, and Kerr certainly brings the power here against Wapakoneta.
Pitch goes outside to Renee Lovett, the slap hitter, also a pitcher today for Wapakoneta as well. Does a variety of good things for Bill Salmons and their team. It's a 1-1 count. This one grounded slowly to third. Leah Rose has to charge, fires and throws a little bit too late. Good speed there by Lovett getting out of that box. Advantage to be a left-handed batter at times like that. And Levitt's on with the infield single. That'll bring up Carly Salmons next.
Seems like Coach Salmon always has a lefty at the top of his lineup. Dating back to, remember Bridget Webb, who played at Finley, had an on-base percentage, I think, in the 700s. And there's another one in Carly Salmons.
Takes a first pitch strike. Salmons, of course, the daughter of Bill. Good softball player here for Wapakoneta for a number of years. A veteran, one of the 7 seniors on the squad this season.
Lovett has 3 stolen bases, so certainly a threat to run as Salmons steps in with a pretty good batting average.
Speaking of running, they get her down and get her out. Kaylee Vogel with the cannon down to second. Lovett is out. She's got good speed, but just couldn't quite get around the tag, so she is caught stealing, and we have 1 down in the inning.
Yeah, there's Vogel again showing up on the highlights. What a great throw down. You don't see a lot of caught stealings in our area in high school softball. Normally, if you can get a good jump once the pitch is delivered, you're going to get down there to second, but Vogel erases the runner, and so we'll see if Carly Salmons is slapping or bunting or swinging away.
Infield in a little bit for Celina. The next pitch is swung on and missed 1 and 2. That one just a little bit outside there by Kerr.
Salmons leads the team with a .574 batting average, .636 on base percentage, 3 doubles and a triple to go along with her 23 singles.
Off-speed pitches inside, a little bit high, evens the count. 2 balls and a strike, or 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 down in our bottom half of the first. Swing and a miss, off-speed pitch again. Good work there by Kerr. Her first strikeout of the ball game, and 2 down now for the Redskins' third batter. The shortstop, this is Amy Hume.
Amy bats .409 on the season, Chris. 7 different Wapakoneta players are over 400 in the batting average department. Hume has the lone home run for Wapakoneta this year.
7 batters over 400, quite the numbers. Wapakoneta, as Andy mentioned early on in pregame, score a lot of runs, and Hume smacks it into left field. Wapakoneta's second hit of the inning. It's a single, the 2-out variety, and this will bring up the catcher for Wapakoneta, Katie Sawmiller. Set the defense for you quickly for the Celina Bulldogs. Katie Kerr on the mound. Kaylee Vogel is catching first. But we'll go left to right here. Third base is Leah Rose. Kylie Bader's playing shortstop. Cassie Freeman playing second base. Cassandra Williams is at first, and from left to right in the outfield. So I scroll down through. I'm missing one here. Center field's Alexis Zacharias. Shelby Bargy is playing in right. The left fielder.
Yeah, I don't have a left fielder. 2, 4, 6, 8. I must have duplicated something, Chris. We'll figure it out.
Pitch is a little bit low. 1 ball and 1 strike. I'm looking as well, too. And
there's 2 second base. I think Cassie Freeman's in left.
That's it.
Her number is 4.
Cassie Freeman left field. Katie Kuhn is playing second base. That one a little bit low in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike for Katie Sawmiller.
Sawmiller's second on the team and runs batted in, 13 of them. A .341 average on the season, also tied for team honors with 5 doubles.
Pitch is up high, 3 balls and now a strike to Sawmiller as Kerr tried to get that off-speed pitch to a little bit lower, sailed a bit on her, so 3-1. Sawmiller in a hitter's count here. Would love to put one in the gap. Let's see what she can do. She grounds to short. Bader is going to take it over to first. 6-3 put out. Bulldogs out of the inning despite 2 Wapakoneta hits. There was a caught stealing, a strikeout, and a ground out. We've played 1 full from Wapakoneta High School. Celina 1, and the Redskins nothing on WOSN. Top of the second for the Celina Bulldogs coming up. But first, we'd like to get a read in. Our Wabash Mutual Telephone, our scoreboard sponsor tonight. Want to thank them. They provide home internet and digital TV services to Mercer County residents and proud to support Mercer County athletics. Wabash Mutual Telephone. It's 5-6-7 for Celina. Alexis Zacharias, Katie Kerr, Cassie Freeman up. And that one chopped foul, 1 ball and 1 strike on Alexis Zacharias.
2 home runs on the season, a .462 batter. We talked about Wapak having 7 ladies above 400. Celina, they just have 6 ladies above 400. Pretty good hitting
team. No
big
deal.
Yeah, no big deal at all. 210 total bases on the season in 10 games.
I want to thank Bill Sammons. Also want to thank Nicole and Matt Driggs too for getting us these numbers here. And it's always good to pass along these great numbers that these young ladies are putting up throughout the course of a season, as this one is now 2-2.
Celina scored 86 runs on the season, so averaging just under 9 a game.
Man. Of course, we saw them against Minster earlier on the season. Boy, they put up a lot of runs in that game, as this one is skied into left center field. Schwartz goes back, and that one's going to get past her. Wind may carry that out some. Second, going to third. Throw's going to be a bit high, sliding in safely as Alexis Zacharias with what we'll call probably a triple, as that ball really carried out to left center field.
Yeah, I think so. It kept going, and the outfielder had a pretty good beat on it. Didn't jump one way or the other incorrectly, but just the ball kept going. And how about back-to-back leadoff triples to start the innings for Celina?
Just going to make mention of that. How often do you see that? So Katie Kerr's up, and she takes a first pitch strike.
471. Sorry, Chris. 471 hitter, 14 driven in on the season for Katie. Has 3 doubles and 1 home run.
Another strike. That one hits the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes as Kerr trying to bring in Celina's second run. Kylie Bader scoring the first run on a Katie Kuhn ground out. That was back in the top half of the first inning. Zacharias standing out there representing the second run as that one fouled back to the screen, stays 0-2.
Celina's had some impressive non-league victories, Chris. We saw them against Minster, as you mentioned, a run rule of a Wildcat team that made it to regionals last couple years. Also had no trouble with Parkway, who's a MAC power, and Marion Local just this past week. So some good victories.
Swinging strike, throw down. They get the out at first. Throw home is going to be a bit late, so a productive out, to say the least, for the Celina Bulldogs. Zacharias does come in to score. Katie Kerr goes down striking out. Play goes 2-3, but a run in, and the Bulldogs lead 2-0 now on the Wabash Mutual Telephone scoreboard.
Good aggressive base running by Alexis Zacharias. She was ready to sprint home once the throw went down to first, and just like that, the Bulldogs have been productive. Leadoff triples. The next batter has always gotten them in.
Chop foul away there by Cassie Freeman, batting in the 7-hole for the Celina Bulldogs.
273 hitter, has just had 11 at-bats on this season, so she's getting a chance to play here today and not a normal starter.
Taking that pitch outside, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Celina leading 2-0. Kylie Bader and Alexis Zacharias, both runs. They both got triples as well, too, to kick things off here for Celina, as this one is grounded to short. Throw to first, a little bit low. Foot on the bag, though. Good job by Stacy Miller to keep her concentration as Amy Hume throws her out. 6-3 put out. There are 2 down in our top half of the second.
She brought the second hand in to make sure that the ball would stay in the glove. Good fundamentals there, and Celina will try and put another cross with a 2-out rally, and Shelby Bargy.
Batting in the 8-hole, playing right field for the Celina Bulldogs today. First pitch she sees is inside for ball number 1.
242 batter. She also has a home run, 8 driven in on the season. You see the flag in center field. It is whipping and seems to be blowing out a little bit. Towards right center, perhaps.
Ball and a strike, kind of tough to see from this vantage point, but the wind is swirling out there, to say the least. So any fly balls could be a little bit of an adventure this afternoon.
We are stationed right behind home plate. Steve Trout calling the balls and strikes, and we're behind the fencing in the press box area, I guess you would call it, along with the snack stand. Those nachos are smelling good.
Thought about being outside for this game, but you know what? I'm kind of happy that we're right behind the home plate now.
Yeah, I didn't think about it.
He said, let's go right behind home plate. That's what we did. Strike out there for Renee Lovett. She's got 3 of them through 2 innings, but the Celina Bulldogs pick up another run. And after 1.5, Celina 2 and Wapak nothing on the West Ohio Sports Network. Wapakoneta will send their 5, 6, 7 hitters up. Ashley Cox, Christy Bailey, and Alexis Schwartz. Cox playing third base today for the Wapakoneta Redskins. Calls time as Katie Kerr gets ready to work her second inning. Just gave up 2 hits in that first inning. Got out of it with no damage.
Cox a .500 batter on the season, 12 RBIs, 5 doubles.
Right back to Kerr, easy 1-3 put out. And very quickly 1 down in our bottom half of the second.
Yeah, the one thing our statistics don't have is number of pitches thrown or pitch count, because these 2 pitchers are working very quickly, Chris.
Here's Christy Bailey, the center fielder for Wapakoneta. Swings and misses at the first pitch for strike number 1.
There is an approaching storm, and so the game is moving very quickly. The pitchers are dealing as soon as they get it back, and the batters aren't taking much time outside the batter's box.
Yep, trying to get this in before the rain comes a little bit later on tonight. This one has popped up and off of our deck behind us.
Our deck.
For lack of better words.
It's the party deck, I believe.
The party deck here at Wapakoneta, that's what we'll call it.
Bailey's a .488 batter, has 5 doubles out of her 20 hits and 1 triple as well, so she's an extra base hitter, but a strikeout.
Couldn't quite get to that one. That's the second strikeout of the day for Katie Kerr, so there's now 2 down. And the left fielder for Wapakoneta, Alexis Schwartz, comes to the plate, batting left-handed.
.323 hitter, 10 driven in, has 7 singles and 3 runs scored. But again, Kerr is finding that first pitch strike and getting ahead of batters, keeping them off balance then with some off-speed offerings.
Always important to throw that first pitch strike, as that one is fouled behind us. No balls, and now 2 strikes. Kerr working ahead, as Andy mentioned, and is right now in the driver's seat, 0-2, trying to have a 1-2-3 bottom half of the second inning.
Wapakoneta's won 3 of their last 4. Both these teams played a makeup last night, a WBL makeup, and both getting victories. Wapak took down Elida 11-1 after a split on Saturday up at Napoleon.
Swings and misses at that pitch, back-to-back Ks for Katie Kerr. And we've played 2 complete from Wapakoneta High School, and Celina leads 2-0 on WOSN. Top half of the third on the Wabash Mutual Telephone scoreboard. The Celina Bulldogs leading Wapakoneta 2-0. Andy Lynch and Chris Parks with you on the broadcast. A very quick moving game as Cassandra Williams, Kylie Bader, Katie Kuhn, 9-1-2 due up for the Bulldogs.
Williams is a .355 batter on the season and 31 at-bats. Has walked 4 times, scored 8 runs, a couple doubles to go along with 9 singles. See if she can continue the trend of leadoff triples.
Yeah, the top half of the first, top half of the second. Leadoff triples by Kylie Bader and Alexis Zacharias. They both came around to score as well. 2 balls and a strike. That'd be something else, 3 innings in a row.
That would make the top 5, I think.
Might have to.
Yeah. We got a big week of broadcast. BVC baseball coming up tomorrow. Macomb and Lipsick, always a good showdown.
A great game last year. I know I've been harping on that if you've been watching the Sports Report or any of our other shows on WOSN. I had a blast doing that game last year. That should be a good one in the BVC.
It was like 12-11, right? Something like that?
It was, yeah.
Extra innings?
I think Macomb came all the way back to win that.
And they had some come from behind victories on Saturday as well. So the Panthers are the comeback cats. Then on Friday, we'll pick up WCSM's broadcast of a huge MAC baseball showdown. Versailles, who I think has just 1 loss, going against Coldwater, who has 2 losses now in the year.
I know it'd be a great game as that one fouled away.
And the sun might be coming out. We see the stormy clouds to the north, but maybe that front is passing through and we're going to be all right. This has been the longest at bat of the day.
I think it has. 3-2 count. Williams grounds it back up the middle. Nice play. It's short throw to first. They get the out there as Miller makes the underhanded catch. And Williams is retired for the first out of the top half of the third.
Real quick exchange by Amy Hume. She had to range to her left as she's playing a deep in the hole, shortstop, got it. And by the time her throw was done, she was almost behind second base, gets it across. And the all-important first out of the inning for the first time this game by Wapakoneta.
Skied into the infield. Carly Sammons calls everybody off, and one more pitch, and there's quickly 2 down now in our top half of the third. And Wapakoneta would love a 1-2-3 inning here after giving up runs in both the top half of the first and top half of the second.
Yeah, Celina just has the 2 base hits, Chris, but they have cashed them both in, of course. So Wapakoneta has limited any other damage.
Strike thrown to Katie Kuhn, grounded out to second back in the top half of the first, but it was a productive out, an RBI ground out.
Her 11th run batted in of the season.
The 1 strike pitch is a little bit low, and we'll even the count now on a ball and a strike.
Wapakoneta will head to Defiance for another Western Buckeye League showdown on Friday.
Ground ball to second. Sammons over to Stacy Miller, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Wapakoneta in the top half of the third. We'll move to the bottom half with Celina leading 2-0 on the West Ohio Sports Network. Bottom half of the third inning as Steve Trott gets back into his position behind the plate. It's Stacy Miller, Megan Durr, and Renee Lovett. 8-9-1 do it for the Wapakoneta Redskins, trying to get things going. They've got 2 hits, but nothing to show for it so far, trailing 2-0.
Miller on the season has come to the plate 35 times, has 6 walks, 11 singles, double and a triple.
Ball and a strike on her in the bottom half of the third. Key WBL game for both of these teams.
Yeah, they both want to stay in that race. Bath and Shawnee, of course, undefeated headed into tonight's play. They will square off next Tuesday, perhaps, where it's going to be a broadcast game on WOSN. I think it is next week. So that one team will obviously have a league loss by that point, but when you have 2 league losses, it's going to be tough to get back in the race the way both Bath and Shawnee have been playing.
Miller lines out to center field for our first out at the bottom of the third. Morgan Durr will come up, the right fielder for Wapakoneta.
Just 20 at-bats on the year, a couple walks, a couple singles, and has also tripled.
First pitch strike there by Katie Kerr.
Top of the order awaits on deck for Wapakoneta, Renee Lovett. She's one of the 2 Redskins that has singles.
That one's up high, ball and a strike. That Bath-Shawnee matchup should be a great one on WOSN next week. I think we broadcasted 2 of their games, the regular season game and the tournament game a season ago, and they were both fantastic ball games.
They were. We were showing the postseason game on WOSN, and Coach Laura Ford said, I wish she'd quit showing that one. Shawnee, of course, won it.
Laura probably wasn't a real big fan of that game, going back to it.
Her final season as the Bath Wild Kittens coach. What a legacy she has left that program. We were talking to one of her alumni at our bowling night a week ago with the Suter family.
Yeah.
They won an auction item, bowling party with TV 44, and one of the Suter boys had married a young lady who pitched for Bath in 2000.
Renee Lovett takes that first pitch inside for ball number 1. She's single but was caught stealing in the top half of the first.
See, the second baseman, Katie Kuhn, is in almost to the pitcher's circle. Third base cheating in. First base, Cassandra Williams is playing back towards the base.
This one lined right to Kerr. She'll make the catch. Actually not Kerr, that's Leah Rose over there. So Rose with the grab, and Celina's out of the bottom of the third. 1-2-3 inning again as Katie Kerr continues to wheel and deal on the mound. So we've played 3 complete. And on the Wabash Mutual Telephone scoreboard, it's Celina 2, Wapakoneta 0 on WOSN. First pitch to the top of the fourth is ball number 1. Celina sending up their 3-4-5 hitters, Kaylee Vogel, Leah Rose, and Alexis Zacharias. trying to extend their 2-0 lead. They got runs in the top of the first and top of the second.
What an influence Vogel has been. The underclassman stepped right in, as we talked about last game. Hillary Hybe was the catcher for Celina last year, but boy, Vogel has done a great job calling pitches and hitting pretty well also.
Diving play out there in the outfield made by Schwartz. As Alexis comes in and takes it, maybe a hit away there, so she's got it, 1 down.
It's an excellent catch. That can make the top 5.
Got a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
You're saying there's a chance. 1 down on the top of the 4th, and that first pitch hits the outside corner for strike 1. Leah Rose, a strikeout victim, back in the top of the 1st. Renee Levitt not pitching all that bad. She got 3 strikeouts, just surrendered those 2 runs so far.
Yeah, and just allowed the 2 hits. Obviously, they were big ones, a couple triples, but since then has retired, what, 6 in a row? 7 in a row.
Yeah, 7 in a row now, starting the top of the 4th. So, Andy, both pitchers kind of starting to get into a groove here in these middle innings.
And we wondered about the Western Buckeye League. Would there be a dominant pitcher step forward this year with the graduation of Sammy Bullock? We're seeing today that these 2 teams both have some pretty good hurlers.
Single into center field by Leah Rose. It's a 1-out base runner in the first hit since the second inning for the Celina Bulldogs. So with 1 on, 1 down, we'll see Alexis Zacharias come to the plate.
Impressive stat line when you look at her numbers. 4 doubles, 4 triples now, a couple home runs. Somehow only 7 RBIs, but she has been dropped down a spot in the batting order. Wow.
Deep and gone. A 2-run homer for Alexis Zacharias. First pitch swinging, and the Bulldogs will extend that lead out to 4-0. How about a triple and plenty of power out to right center field?
Yeah. Opposite field, Chris. Now, the wind is blowing in that direction, we believe, but boy, did she lift that one. Power alleys are 220, and she had plenty to spare.
So how about that? 2-run shot for Alexis Zacharias.
And we've gotten to see 2 of her 3 home run balls. We saw one in Minster and another one here, although that one wasn't towards our center field camera, which I know is always an objective of Celina softball, to try and knock our man off the stand.
That was the case early in the season, no doubt. So 1 down. Levitt will have to try to settle back in and throws the first pitch ball to Katie Kerr. She struck out, but got an RBI, I believe, in the top half of the second. The strikeout allowed a runner to come in.
I don't know if that's is that an RBI?
Probably not on the strikeout.
Just lets that one go by. So all 1s on the board.
First thought it was, but now I look at it and think about it for another extra couple seconds.
I don't think it is.
Unearned run, I would imagine, too. This
wow.
one is blasted into left field. Schwartz has to go way back, but makes the grab right in front of the 210 sign for our second out. So the Bulldog bats alive a little bit here in this top of the 4th.
That's 2 plays in this inning that the left fielder, Alexis Schwartz, has had to range to get. And with the wind swirling, that is not easy, but very close to the wall. Keeps it in the park.
Being told Elizabeth Martin out in left field now for the Wapak Redskins. Must have made a change that we were aware of here. So that's Martin making the grab out there.
All right.
Andy's going to jot that down in his book. We'll make note of that. So 2 down. Martin making the good grab out there in left field. And now 2 strikes on Cassie Freeman. Two-strike pitch by Lovett is a little bit outside. A ball and 2 strikes with 2 down. Bulldogs, though, adding 2 so far in this 4th inning on a 2-run homer by Alexis Zacharias.
The season is so compact for softball. It's always interesting. These WBL teams see each other 1 time and sometimes 2 times during the regular season, and they turn around and play in the WBL tournament, the Division II sectional. So teams certainly want to win the first time around. But if they can't, they always know there's that second chance, and you never know what's going to happen, as we saw with Bath and Shawnee last year.
Hit by pitch there, it was Freeman. She's at first base with 2 down. And the 6th batter of the inning, Shelby Bargy, struck out to end the 2nd inning. Back to the plate again against Renee Lovett. Renee in there with the first pitch strike. Liz Martin out there in left field. A sister to Wapakoneta wrestler JT Martin going to Cleveland State next year for wrestling. Two pretty good athletes in the Martin family.
I saw JT stroll by just about 5-10 minutes before game time, so he's on hand watching his sister.
What a career he had in the wrestling ring. Mat, I guess you could say, not really a ring.
Yeah, there's a circle.
Yeah, circle. There's a strike on the outside corner. Good location there by Lovett. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes now with 2 down. So the runner at first, Cassie Freeman, will run on any contact. As Barge trying to put it in play, maybe find a gap here and extend that lead. Renee Lovett trying to get out of the inning and does. Good heat there by Renee. That's her 4th strikeout of the ball game, and that will retire the side in the top half of the 4th. But Celina does some damage. They get 2 hits and 2 more runs, and they lead now 4-0 on WOSN. Wapakoneta Redskins sending up their 2-3-4 hitters, and Carly Salmon's first pitch swinging will ground out over there to the pitcher, Katie Kerr, and very quickly 1 out. So Salmon's aggressive right out of the gate in the top or the bottom half of the 4th.
It's the second comebacker that Katie Kerr has elicited from the Redskin bats, and the 3 batter, one of the 2 ladies with a base hit, Amy Hume, comes to the plate.
Katie Kerr settling in nicely, has retired the last 8 Wapakoneta batters. And this one right down the line, fair ball, says Steve Trout. I believe foul ball.
Oh.
Thought it may have hit the base there, but maybe a little bit tough to see from our vantage point. Bill Salmon's not arguing down there, so we'll stand at 1 strike.
Steve Trout, the Hall of Famer. He's going to be inducted in the Ohio Basketball Hall of Fame in just a few weeks in Columbus.
Great honor for him.
3-sport official, volleyball, basketball, and of course softball.
Does a lot of stuff. Also did some work at the Wapakoneta Country Club as well too. Not sure if he's back there again this spring, but
I bet he is. He likes to play golf.
Pretty good golfer, I would imagine. Throw a little bit low. They're going to say safe on the play. And Wapakoneta has their first runner since the top or bottom half of the first inning. Is Hume on for the 2nd time today? I would imagine probably going to be scored. They're going to say a hit here. So
yeah, it was a great effort, and Williams had to split to try and just make it an out at first base. Couldn't quite keep it in her glove, and so it'll be a runner on with 1 out.
Did all she could, just couldn't quite corral it. We'll see Katie Sawmiller come up. She grounded out shortstop her first time up, sends this one to 2nd, and nowhere to go. They're going to say safe there as the 2nd baseman for the Celina Bulldogs, Katie Kuhn, I don't think just couldn't get it out of her mitt there.
Yeah, I think it's a fielder's choice, so it won't be ruled as a hit. I don't know if an error will be charged. And we have a courtesy runner, we're alerted. Number 18 checking in for Wapakoneta. That is Taylor Sutton. So Kuhn, I think, forgot that someone had hit the ball because she didn't go to first right away, and by the time she did, it's too late. So for the first time today, Wapakoneta has 2 runners aboard, and there's just 1 out as Ashley Cox steps in.
Yeah, I think Kuhn wanted to go to 2nd with it, and then once she couldn't get the ball out, just kind of a tough situation for the Celina 2nd baseman. That one also in for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes to Ashley Cox.
See how Celina works under pressure. They do have that 4-run lead, so it's not a great deal of pressure, but certainly want to keep the 0 on the other side of the scoreboard as Steve Trout brushes off the plate.
This one lined foul. Good power there by Cox, but a little out ahead of that pitch, so it stays. No balls, 2 strikes with 1 down in our bottom half of the 4th. 4-0 Celina lead on the Wabash Mutual Telephone scoreboard. This one popped to 2nd. Easy play there by the 2nd baseman, Katie Kuhn. And now they're 2 down. Wapakoneta trying to bring these 2 runners in, and it will be up to Christy Bailey.
Bailey struck out her first batting appearance in the 2nd inning. Just needed to send it into right to get one of the runners home as Celina is shading her to left field.
Wild pitch, that one past Vogel, and Wapakoneta runners move up to 2nd and 3rd. Big play there, a base hit. Now may be able to plate 2 for the Skins.
We talked about the 2 different pitchers for Celina. Katie Kerr has registered 19 1/3 innings. Kylie Bader 38 and 2/3 innings. Kerr is very effective unless she gets a little wild. Has 11 walks in those 19 innings. Saw the pass ball there, but it doesn't come back to hurt her.
Nice work at second base by Katie Kuhn, flipping over to Cassandra Williams, and Celina dodges a bullet there. Wapak leaves 2 on base, and through 4 innings, it's Celina 4, Wapak nothing on the West Ohio Sports Network. Couple more raindrops starting to fall here at Wapak.
Don't say it, Chris.
I had to point it out to our viewers, Andy. Top of the 5th here. Cassandra Williams will lead off and bunts it foul for strike 1. Top of the 5th. Bulldogs leading 4-0. Williams, Bader, and Kuhn, 9-1-2, due up for the Bulldogs.
Getting score updates on Twitter. Follow me at Andy Lynch 44, Chris at Chris Parks 44, or Mark Kuntz 44. As well as WOSN air schedule to find out when your game is starting.
Talk about perfectly placed there by Williams. Infield single for her. Does it nicely in the top of the 5th, and the Bulldogs have their leadoff runner on.
Yeah, that couldn't have been better. It just died right there. Didn't have a chance of going foul. And quick wheels, 3rd time in 5 innings that Celina has the leadoff runner aboard.
Back to the top of the order for Kylie Bader. A triple. She scored in the 1st. And popped out to 2nd. 1 for 2 officially today. And Bader takes the first pitch high for ball number 1. I was just going to say the Bulldogs top of the 1st got a run. Got one in the top of the 2nd, and a 2-run homer by Alexis Zacharias in the 4th. That's where we stand right now on the Wabash Mutual Telephone Company scoreboard.
Saw Miller is quick and ready to get into a throwing position. She knows Williams has some speed and wants to keep her close there at first base.
Celina, a really unique team. A good combination of speed, power, bats, just a powerful offense, powerful pitching, and good defense.
Which makes the blanking that Bath gave Celina all the more amazing. Just,
sure does.
What was it, a 1 or 2 hitter for Kimmy Reynolds? Celina has all this power and really good contact hitters, but you've seen the veteran leadership of a pitcher in the circle.
That one fouled off. Ball and 2 strikes to Kylie Bader.
I think Kimmy's a junior, is that right?
She is a junior this year, yes. Been pitching since she was a freshman. Seems like she's been around a lot longer than that.
Yeah, she came right in. Camille Martin was pitching as a sophomore, and Coach Laura Ford said, Kimmy's doing pretty well as a freshman. Let's throw her in there.
Nice little 1-2 combination there. Martin and Kimmy Reynolds. Nice off-speed pitch for strike 3. Bader goes down. Good job by Renee Lovett. That's our first out. At the top of the 5th, we'll bring up the Celina number 2 hitter, Katie Kuhn. 2 ground outs to Carly Salmon so far at second base, so officially 0 for 2 on the day.
5th strikeout for Lovett. She is doing well to limit the damage, although the 2-run homer really put a little space between Celina and Wapakoneta, as Alexis Zacharias went deep for the 3rd time.
Kuhn trying to get Williams over to maybe 2nd or 3rd here.
Kaylee Vogel awaits on deck, so plenty of power for for Celina.
That pitch inside, Lovett now 2-0 the count. Renee has not walked a batter, hit a batter back in the 4th inning. And Katie Kerr on the other side has not walked a batter either, so both pitchers, just great control so far today. Here's a chopper. It's going to be a tough play for Salmons at 2nd. Throw to 1st. They do get her, though. And it's a 4-3 putout. Runner does move up to 2nd base. And Salmons on that play, a little bit blocked by the umpire, maybe Renee Lovett as well, too. Still made a nice play for the 2nd out.
That's not an easy play. The way it was chopped right in front of home plate made it get to Salmons a little bit slower. But now there's a runner in scoring position for Vogel, who's 0 for 2.
Hit a deep fly out to left her 2nd time up, and swings and misses there for strike number 1. Popped out to Renee Lovett back in the 1st. She is 0 for 2 so far today, but a chance at an RBI opportunity with a runner in scoring position out there, Cassandra Williams.
Tops on the team in RBI. She was lower in the order when we saw Celina host Minster, but she's been moved up to this 3 spot by Coach Nicole Driggs. Add a little extra pop to a lineup that's getting almost 9 runs a game as it is.
Vogel, Rose, Zacharias, Kerr, 3 through 6. That's some good power in there.
And Kuhn leads the team in home runs with 4. She's the 2 batter.
Kuhn up there, your 2 spot. Bader leading off with some runs.
Rose leads the team with 4, not Kuhn. That was my mistake. Kuhn has 2.
Good lineup up and down for the Celina team. Good lineup for this Wapak team. They've scored a lot of runs so far this season, but Katie Kerr pitching well so far for the Bulldogs. 0-2 count on Kaylee Vogel. Lovett trying to get out of the inning, straining that runner at second base. Let's see what she can do. Now she'll step off the mound. Didn't agree with what Katie Sawmiller was putting down. They'll try to get back on the same page here. The no ball and 2 strike count.
Talk about runs scored. Wapak has scored less than 6 runs only 3 times. Twice down in Florida, 3-1, and then to Napoleon in game 2 of the doubleheader.
That one past the catcher Sawmiller, and moving into third is Williams on the pass ball. Ball and 2 strikes. Vogel trying to deliver with that runner now at third. That hit does get that run home. Just inside.
Very close. And Vogel looked at Steve Trout just to see what the call would be as she dove out of the way of that pitch that was close to catching the inside part of the plate.
Helps being a catcher too. You know kind of where to look for pitches and what the umpires are calling. As she lines this one to second, Sammons has it, fires to first, and they get the out there. Good job by Carly Simmons. The last 2 outs to get Wapak out of the inning. So through 4.5, Celina still leading 4-0 on the West Ohio Sports Network. Alexis Schwartz will lead things off. Stacy Miller, Morgan Durr, and a crack of the bat into left field. It's a base hit for Schwartz. And Wapak has their leadoff runner on for the 2nd time today. So a good start here for Bill Sammons and his young ladies.
And coming in to run for Wapak, number 3. That's Elizabeth Martin, who's been playing left field for the designated hitter. So does that, I'm guessing that means she's done? It's a true pinch runner.
It is a true pinch runner.
I don't know the rules to softball.
So Martin in there to run. Lots of speed on the base pass for the Wapak Redskins now, and Stacy Miller will come to the plate. The Redskin first baseman lined out to center field the first time. She's got some pop in her bat, and see if she can put one in the gap here. Instead, grounds to short through, though, Bader's glove. That's probably going to be scored in air. And Miller's on board safely, so the Wapak Redskins they got things going here in the bottom of the 5th with 2 on, nobody down.
Yeah, Kylie Bader was thinking double play. She had to get it quickly and get it to her other hand and was thinking 1 step ahead, so the ball goes underneath her glove, and Nicole Driggs has a chance to come out and talk to her team.
See a courtesy runner come in, it looks like for Miller as well, too. That courtesy runner, if I dig down through my roster, is Taylor Sutton.
We saw her earlier as a courtesy runner. Last inning, Wapak had a couple runners on and couldn't cash in. So this time with no outs, as Coach Bill Sammons goes over the substitution, bottom of the 5th inning in a quick moving game. Just 9 total hits between these 2 teams that have been cranking them out all year long. See if this can be the big inning for the Redskins or if Celina settles down. They're talking re-enters right now. They're speaking your language, Chris.
So we got a re-entry then. So Sutton just courtesy running right now. We'll see Miller come back in at first base. So no big change there. As that first pitch, it's outside for ball number 1. Morgan Durr popped out to second in the 3rd inning. Looking to get things going and set the table for the top half of the Wapak Redskin lineup, which will turn over here after Durr comes to the plate. And now 2 balls and no strikes as the Skins threatening for the 2nd consecutive inning.
Kerr starting to get a little wild. This might only be the 2nd or 3rd 2-0 count she's seen this game after being very efficient with the pitches. Now behind 3-0.
1 pitch away from loading up the bases here. So Durr, we're imagining going to be very patient here at the plate with a 3-0 count.
Coach Sammons teaching, he left his third base box to go over and teach a few minutes for his team, and a 4-pitch walk, bases loaded for Renee Lovett coming up.
First walk of the ball game. Really hard to believe here in the bottom of the 5th. Bases loaded, nobody down. And Wapak in a good position, the top of their lineup up with Renee Lovett, who is 1 for 2, a single and a line out. thus far.
Be interested to see how Coach Salmons approaches this. A slap hitter. Bases loaded. The third baseman is in for Celina, and there's the slap.
Chops it, throw home. They get the out there, so good job at the pitcher's mound there by Katie Kerr. Comes home on the 1-2 put out. So Elizabeth Martin out there. One down, bases still loaded, though, for the Wapak Redskins and Carly Salmons.
And that was a rocket by Katie Kerr. She threw that one high and, I guess, away to a left-handed batter, and Vogel had to reach out and get it.
Salmons lines that one down the third baseline foul for a 1-strike count.
See storm clouds out in right field. Looks like it just moved right around us maybe. I don't know. We got more coming.
I'm okay with that right now.
Yep.
Let's keep it that way. Next offering is down a little bit in the dirt, but swung at. So Salmon's behind, no balls and 2 strikes as Kerr tries to work out of a bases loaded jam.
On deck is Amy Hume, who's 2 for 2 on the game for Wapakoneta.
Good block there by Vogel, 1-2.
A short backstop here, so Coach Driggs didn't mind trying to go with a tough pitch that's down in case it does sneak by Vogel. Not a long way for her to run to go and get it, but a lot of confidence in your catcher going with that pitch.
That one gets past. Wapakoneta will send the runner home, and in on the wild pitch is the pinch runner Taylor Sutton, and the Skins are on the board. Now trailing 4-1 as everyone moves up a base, second and third now with 1 down.
Just watching the communication between Katie Kerr and looking over to Coach Driggs, who was calling the pitches. It looks like that's where they wanted it, low and away. Tough to slap for a left-handed batter. First time, Vogel was able to get in front of it. Second time, just a little bit further outside. Let's see where they go on this 2-2 offering with first base open.
A little bit low again. Vogel, another good block. 3 balls and 2 strikes. First base open, so Salmons does walk. It sets up a force at any base. Let's see if Kerr maybe tries to throw it a little bit outside and get Salmons to chase here. Does go outside with it, loads the bases up. Second walk of the inning for Kerr. Wapakoneta with the bases reloaded again. Throw down to third, and back in okay there is Megan Durr. Snap throw down there, and time called. The Celina infielders are going to talk things over. And
they might hand the ball over to Kylie Bader.
Couple high fives there by Nicole Driggs. And let's see if that's going to be the case.
Kylie's coming in to pitch.
That will be the case. So a pitching change here for the Celina Bulldogs. Kylie Bader, the shortstop, now in to pitch. 4-1 our score. We'll break here on WOSN while Kylie warms up, and we'll bring you the rest of the bottom of the 5th coming up next on WOSN. First pitch that Kylie Bader throws is fouled away by Amy Hume, who's been on base twice today. 2 singles for her. Hasn't come around to score yet. Katie Kerr responsible for all 3 runners on base. Went 4 in the 3rd innings. 4 hits, 2 walks, hit a batter, and struck out 3. Good off-speed pitch by Bader.
And it did not take Kylie Bader very long to get ready. She threw a few pitches. All right, let's go. She's a teammate of Carly Salmons during the summer when they played softball. So Coach Bill Salmons was giving her a hard time, of course, during warm-ups. Stay off my field, that type of thing.
Stays no balls and 2 strikes on Amy Hume as Katie Kerr moves from the pitcher's mound over to the shortstop position. So just a little swap there between Bader and Kerr.
That's nice when you have your pitcher plays shortstop and your other pitcher plays shortstop. You just switch them out, don't have to make a lot of fielding adjustments. Bader's definitely a different style of pitcher. She has more innings on the season, almost 40. Has faced 175 batters, given up 42 hits, just 1 home run. Has a 5-1 record. Has also saved a couple ball games. Kerr has 1 save as well. So Coach Driggs definitely mixes and matches her 2 right-handed pitchers. Hitters are hitting just 249 against Bader for the season. About 4.5 strikeouts a game.
0-2 pitch a little bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Amy Hume. Katie Sawmiller to follow.
Hume leads the team with 17 runs driven in this season. Could add to her total nicely here with a gap shot.
chops that one foul. Good battle here. Hume has fouled off quite a few pitches in this at bat.
Out in front of that one, pulls it foul. We'll see if Bader comes back with something away, a little faster maybe, or continues with the off speed.
Hume settles back in. And again, another foul ball back into the practice field.
Hume was ready for that fastball away. As the chess match continues between a couple pretty good softball players here.
Good battle here. Wapak already 1 run so far in the bottom half of the 5th, looking for more. That one is high, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That thing just keeps going up, and it looks so nice when it's out coming at you, but just keeps rising, and it's tough to catch up.
Good.
Again, lays off.
Good plate discipline by Hume. Has worked it full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. A walk gets a run in, hit does as well too. Let's see what Hume can do. Bader trying to get out of this jam. And ball 4, so an RBI the easy way. Morgan Durr will come in to score, and Wapak right back in this ball game, Andy. They were down 4-0, now down just 4-2 on the walk.
Team leading 11th walk for Amy Hume, her 18th RBI. Even though it's not batted in, it still brings it in. And good plate discipline, has been on base all 3 times.
Katie Sawmiller takes strike 1. Every Wapak batter so far in the bottom half of the 5th has reached base so far, all 6. And Katie Sawmiller, the 7th young lady to bat in this inning. Fouls that over towards the Celina dugout, and she's in an 0-2 hole. Sawmiller today, a ground out to short, and reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th.
13 runs batted in on the season. Just 1 out.
Two-strike pitch outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Tying run standing out there at second base. Go-ahead run over at first base with Amy Hume. Celina in control for most of this game, up until this point now here as the Redskins fighting back. This one lined deep into center field. It's going to carry. Good catch out there in center field by Zacharias. Runners will tag and move up. Runner does score on the play. That is Renee Lovett. As the ball got away momentarily. So runners at first and third. There's 2 down. Wapak gets a run on the sac fly. It's a 1-run ball game.
Yeah, great ball hit by Katie Sawmiller. Could have been trouble if Zacharias didn't notice pretty quickly into her turn that she had to retreat on that in a hurry. Nice running catch. And then she did a good job getting it into her cutoff player at shortstop, not allowing the runner at first to move up to second.
Ground ball chopped to short. Throw over to first in plenty of time as Katie Kerr makes that final out. But Wapak strikes for 3 in the bottom of the 5th. They're right back in this ball game. And on the Wabash Mutual telephone scoreboard, it's Celina 4, Wapak 3 on WOSN. Rain coming down now at Wapak as we head to the top of the 6th, 4-3 ball game. And Lovett's first pitch sails over Sawmiller for ball number 1.
And Coach Sammons has the towel out. He is ready to dry off each softball that needs it. The consummate host.
Ready for anything, trying to make sure Renee doesn't throw too many high or maybe low to Sawmiller here. We'll see how long this goes on, see how long this rain lasts here. We try to get through this. 5 complete, top of the 6th, and Lovett now 2-0 to Leah Rose. That'll be Rose, Alexis Zacharias, Katie Kerr, 4-5-6 due up for the Bulldogs, who use some insurance now, leading by just 1, 4-3.
It is an official ball game. If somehow it would get rained out, Celina would get the road victory if things stood the way they are, but obviously Steve Trout wants to see him play this one to completion. And we do too. Great job by our camera people, as always. Kyle and Ben. Yep, Ben's the man in the high pod. Who's in center? Kara?
Kara, yep. Kara Binkley out there in center. Kyle Pullman and Ben Reif.
So a Spencerville Bearcat, a Delphus St. John's Blue Jay, and Tri-Village, whatever their mascot is. Patriots are red, white, and blue.
Right fielder makes the grab there by the
ignore
Wapak
me.
and the Redskins. I am. Morgan Durr makes the catch for our first out. I think they are the Patriots.
I have no idea. We should know because they make pretty good basketball runs. Ben's going to kill us.
He doesn't have to know. So 1 down in our top of the 6th. Bill Salmon's like to see his ladies come back to the plate again, so he would encourage Steve Trott to keep this one going.
And to get through this part of the order, Alexis Zacharias had that big 2-run homer that's the difference in the ball game right now. Last time she came to the plate in the 4th.
Triple, scored a run, and a 2-run blast, as Andy mentioned, in the 4th. Out in front of that pitch, no balls and 2 strikes. Renee Lovett with those shades on earlier, taking those sunglasses off with the rain.
That's good. Some folks would leave them on, but Renee is practical. You gotta love the die-hard softball fans that are lining the fence. They have their umbrellas up. They were ready.
Well prepared for this. I did not bring an umbrella, so.
That's why we're inside. I talked to Bruce Boley before the game. He was strolling out here. His son's a freshman coach for Wapakoneta baseball.
Oh, yeah?
Bruce was checking out the tennis action, going to catch a little softball, and then back down to Celina for the baseball game between these two schools. And I asked him, when's it going to rain, Bruce? And he said, not till 8 o'clock. And I said, really? That's what I say, Bruce said.
Celina tennis team in Wapak today, too?
They are.
How about that?
Yeah.
Chopper to third, throw to first, dropped on the play. That would have been a tough play regardless.
I think she was safe anyhow. So Zacharias is a double away from the cycle.
Score. I think I'm probably going to score that an infield single there for Zacharias. Katie Kerr comes to the plate now with 1 down, 1 on. Kerr 0 for 2 today.
And our official score agrees with you, Chris.
All right. We're on the same page here, which is a good thing.
1 on, 1 out.
Kerr takes a first pitch strike on the inside corner.
Katie's 0 for 2 on the day. That strikeout that helped Zacharias come on in to score the game's 2nd run and then flew out to left on a nice play made by Elizabeth Martin.
That one fouled away. Katie Kerr's official pitching numbers: 4 1/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, a hit batsman, and 3 strikeouts. Not sure on the earned runs there, but 3 total runs.
Her dad, Jeff Kerr, used to coach Coldwater softball, now part of the Celina staff.
That one blasted foul, stays no balls and 2 strikes to Kerr.
It's a good way to put it. She went down and got it and hit it hard, just a little bit late, as Lovett regroups in the circle. Wapak has the corners, even with the bag. Carly Salmon shaded a bit towards right field, and the shortstop right where double play depth would be.
Grounder throw to second. They
got her.
got the out there. That's a tough play to go to second from a position that the third baseman is for Wapakoneta, Ashley Cox, but made a nice strong throw to Carly Salmons, and they get the lead runner 2 down now in the inning.
Yeah, that's a big out, because if you don't get that, you decided to go to second. Well, you have 2 runners aboard and just the 1 out, rather than going across the diamond to get the sure out at first. Wapak will take it.
Cassie Freeman up, the left fielder today, a ground out, and she got hit by a pitch in the 4th. Runner at first base with 2 down. That one lined over towards the Celina folks for a strike.
Amazing how front comes in and just drops the temperature by 10, 15 degrees in a matter of minutes, and it's going to drop a lot more by tomorrow from what I understand.
Yeah, just into the
another one of these weeks, 70 to 35 or whatever.
Going to be a little bit cooler, and then I think we're supposed to warm up by the weekend again.
Coach Salmons, I was talking to him before the game. I said, is this the worst you've seen in spring? He coached in Michigan for a while before coming here to Wapakoneta, and he said it's one of the worst I can remember. They've still gotten 14 of their games in. Granted, 4 of those were in Florida to start the year.
Remember 2 springs ago, I don't think I put a pair of shorts on until maybe the 3rd week in May. A lot of rain a couple springs ago. Last spring was fantastic, and we're hoping things continue to get in, and we have a good end to April here and a good start to May.
Yeah, we're hoping it looks up.
Yeah, Never know, though, in Western
I
Ohio.
have no idea with spring sports. And really, if the football season was crazy, this past fall, every other week it rained. Friday nights.
Oh, it certainly was crazy, to say the least.
And Jensen Miracle remembers it. He's right here with us as the PA announcer. That suited Wapak pretty well, though, with the running game.
3-2, strike 3 right at the knees. So a strikeout by Lovett to get out of the top of the 6th. The bats come back for Wapakoneta, trailing 4-3. So we head to the bottom of the 6th next on the West Ohio Sports Network. Wapakoneta Redskins with 6 more outs to go in the bottom of the 3rd, trying to get even here with the Celina Bulldogs. 4-3 our score on the Wabash Mutual Telephone scoreboard. Andy Lynch and Chris Parks, Christy Bailey, Alexis Schwartz, Stacy Miller, 6-7-8 for Wapak, and that one low to Bailey. Didn't want to swing at that one. No balls, 2 strikes as Bader gets ahead. Skins struck for 3 in the bottom half of the 5th inning on just 1 hit.
Incredible.
3 walks in that inning as well, too. A couple fielders' choices.
That will do you in, won't it, Chris?
Those walks come back to haunt you.
Yep.
Coaches told me that all the time.
Did you listen?
Nah, I tried to, but I still walked a lot of batters when I pitched.
Yeah, I didn't do it on purpose.
Tried not to. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
All kinds of rain all over the area. The Indians canceled tonight.
Andy making some changes to his fantasy baseball lineup as we speak. 2-2.
No better time than now.
That one.
Foul ball.
Yep, foul there. Steve Trout makes the call. Glad you can make those appropriate changes.
Me too. I think the Reds are still on as of now. We'll see.
Stays 2-2. Bailey, strike 3,
Wow.
inside portion.
How about
of
the
plate.
movement of that pitch?
Tough to get a read on there. Bailey, a strikeout victim, unfortunately for Wapak. We'll see Alexis. Actually, we'll see Elizabeth Martin come to the plate now. Martin in there at left field, also a slap hitter. Bunts that one foul.
Yeah, Martin was the defensive replacement for the designated hitter, so when she came in to pinch run, that replaced the designated hitter. So Wapak, I believe, playing with no DH. Of course, I could be making all of this up. I'm just pretty sure that's how it goes.
Her and Alexis Schwartz kind of switching positions. I believe Schwartz was out there and left for a little bit. But
She might have been the first inning, but then Martin switched shortly after. Rain seems to have stopped.
looks like we're okay here momentarily. That one grounded foul.
Coach Salmon's got in front of it, knocked it down.
That's what you got to do if you're an infielder. 1-2 count on Martin.
Bill Salmon's the Fellowship of Christian Athletes advisor here at Wapak, has built up a great group. Nicole and Matt Driggs used to be the FCA leaders at Celina before their first child came along.
Make things a little bit busier whenever
Just
you
a
have
little,
a child.
just a little.
2 outs in the inning, both strikeouts. Stacy Miller comes to the plate, trying to provide some 2-out lightning here for the Wapakoneta Redskins, trailing by a run here in the bottom of the 6th.
Kylie Bader gets the pitch assignment from Coach Driggs, and Miller steps out. She scored the game's first run for Wapakoneta, reached on an error, scored on a wild pitch, did the courtesy runner for her. So I guess technically she did not, but her space did.
1 strike on Miller.
Big baseball game this Friday here at Wapakoneta with Defiance coming to town. Can the Redskins end that long win streak?
Talked about that on Big Sports Weekend earlier in the day if you're watching on WOSN. Over 50 consecutive WBL wins. 6 years, I think, in a row now for WBL titles. And that's somewhere in that span as that one just foul as Williams made a quick dash to first, trying to get the 3rd out there, but called foul.
Yeah, earlier on Twitter, I saw Defiance was only at 1-0 on Otto Glandorf tonight. See if we can get an update, even though as you're watching this, you can just go to WOSN.tv and check out the scores of all of Tuesday's league action.
Miller grounds this one, and that one gets into the hole for a single. So Steve C. Miller on base for the second time today. A 2-out runner for Morgan Durr.
Good piece of hitting. Had the big hole between first and second. She finds it. Here comes another runner from Coach Sammons as he talks with Steve Trout. Looks like that was Renee Lovett in the on-deck circle. I was thinking 13 was coming out, but she'll be next to bat if Wapak can get another runner on. 2 outs.
If they're going to have a courtesy runner come in for Miller at all or not, doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
No,
so
not sure what the change was. We have a pinch hitter?
Nope, Durr is up to the plate
Yeah,
here,
you're
Morgan.
right.
So
Okay.
let's play. That one's high for ball 1. Maybe Bill checking to see if he could have a courtesy runner out there for Miller.
And a re-enter. I just like to say those words. Couple singles on the year for Durr. She scored the second run last inning. Walked and came around to make it 4-2. It's 4-3 on our Wabash scoreboard as we entertain you here on WOSN.
One way to put it.
Wow.
Blast into center field, but right at the center fielder, Alexis Zacharias. So Morgan Durr put a rip into it, but right at a fielder. So through 6 innings, it's Celina 4 and Wapak 3 on WOSN. Celina starts off the top of the 7th with a pinch hitter. Hillary McGilvery comes to the plate, and she'll take a first pitch ball. So it'll be McGilvery, Williams, and Bader. 8-9-1 due up for the Bulldogs, trying to add some insurance to a 4-3 lead on the Wabash Mutual Telephone scoreboard.
And all of Celina's runs have come via extra base hits, more or less, I guess, to start the inning. A couple triples, they came around to score, and then the 2-run homers. So the big ball has been the difference today for Celina, scoring 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and 2 in the fourth.
1 ball, 1 strike. This one is into short right field. It's going to fall in for a single. So Haley, I should say, excuse me. Haley McGilvery comes in and very quickly makes her presence felt. It's a leadoff single.
See what Celina does here with Cassandra Williams up. She singled last time up, so she certainly can put the bat on the ball. Or do they want to try and manufacture a run with Kylie Bader, Katie Kuhn, and Kaylee Vogel all waiting in the wings, top of the order?
Quick bunt by Williams. That will be foul for our first strike.
Get our answer right there.
Renee Lovett looking to go the distance on the mound for Wapak, trying to keep this a 4-3 game. Has the 1 strike. I think Williams offered at that one. No, they're going to say ball, so 1-1.
Good discipline to pull back. Look at how close in the third baseman is for Wapakoneta. Now taking a couple steps back is Ashley Cox, but she is almost getting pretty close to even with the pitcher circle.
Bunt put down by Williams. They'll go to second. Good job by Renee Lovett to get the lead runner. That put out goes 1-6. Williams on first base safely with the fielder's choice, but the Redskins, for the important part there, get the lead runner for the first out.
Wapakoneta really smothered that play. There was nowhere for Williams to bunt unless she could get it by one of the charging fielders, and so Lovett was able to just field it quickly and get the lead runner. So now we'll see what Kylie Bader has in store. 1 for 3 on the day, including a run scoring after the triple.
Takes her first pitch for strike 1 with 1 down in the top of the 7th inning. Good ball game so far. 4-3 Celina lead. Ball and a strike. That one just a bit outside.
Certainly feels like a league game between 2 of the top teams. Playoff atmosphere here as things have tightened up a bit.
2 balls and a strike now on Kylie Bader. Good hitters count here. Maybe a hit and run perhaps here for Celina, trying to get something going on the base paths. Lined base hit into left field. No hit and run put on, but a hit there by Bader. So first and second for the Celina Bulldogs, just one down in the inning. And now we're starting to get to the big bats in their lineup. Here comes Katie Kuhn.
Katie's hitless on the day, but did drive in that first run on a ground out to second base. In fact, all three of her balls hit have gone to Carly Salmons there at second. With one out, with Vogel in the on-deck circle. We'll see if Katie's swinging away. I imagine she will be.
Takes a first pitch strike. Carly Salmons will have to be on the lookout at second base for maybe a shot her way here with one down. Off speed, nice pitch there by Lovett. No balls, 2 strikes.
She's had a strikeout in every inning except the third, so he's definitely done a nice job keeping Celina off balance.
Strike 3 right at the letters. Big strikeout by Renee Lovett and the Wapakoneta Redskins. That's our second out of the top of the 7th. And now we'll be up to Kaylee Vogel trying to extend that lead a little bit more. Kaylee, a tough day for her, 0 for 3 so far. But can he race that 0 for 3 day with a little shot into the gap here? Let's see what she can do.
Wow. Quick hands on that pitch.
Talk about a shot.
A little too quick. We've seen some hard hit balls go for outs, including to end last inning, as Morgan Durr put a drive into it just right at Alexis Zacharias, who does a nice job patrolling center field for Celina.
No balls, 2 strikes as Renee Lovett ahead in the count. Big here for the Wapakoneta pitcher, trying to get out of this with 2 runners on.
Lovett's thrown, coming into the game, 69 at third innings. Carly Salmons, the other pitcher for the team, has thrown 15 innings. Probably the second game of the doubleheader pitcher a lot of times.
I would say so.
Lovett steps off. She's surrendered just 10 walks in those 70-plus innings. Does she have any today, Chris? I don't know that she does.
I don't think Renee, she hit a batter. That's been it so far.
Wow.
There's strike 3. Big work there, and by Renee Lovett to get out of the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts for her. She's pitched well. Let's see if her Wapakoneta teammates can pick her up through 6.5 innings. It's Celina 4 and Wapak 3 on WOSN. Tonight's scoreboard sponsor brought to you by Wabash Mutual Telephone, providing phone, internet, digital TV services to Mercer County residents, proud to support Mercer County athletics. Wabash Mutual Telephone, want to thank them for their partnership and all their sponsorships for us, and not just today, but throughout the entire season and years that they've provided that for us. Wabash Mutual Telephone. First pitch is down low to Renee Lovett. It'll be Renee Lovett, Carly Salmons, Amy Hume. And now 2 balls and no strikes as Lovett in the driver's seat here. Represents the tying run. Wapakoneta trying to get a couple runs across here and sneak away with a WBL victory.
Be a nice come from behind effort as Celina was really in control through 4 innings, up 4-0, 2-run homer. Looked to put a little extra dagger in it, but Wapak fought back. Just 1 hit in that 5th inning, but they were patient, and they coaxed 3 walks, scored the 3 runs, and here we are, bottom of the 7th inning, top of the order, just the way Coach Salmons would want it, aside from being in front, of course.
3 balls and 1 strike. Bader trying to find some control here. Lovett trying to get on base by any means. Lined,
Foul.
just foul, man. 3-2 now.
That was quite the slap. If that stays fair, could be a double.
I would say so.
But she'll try again as Lovett has a big smile on her face coming back to the box with a full count. And look at the flag in center field, Chris. There's no wind anymore.
How about that? Really windy for the first portion of this game. Not so much now. Ground ball into the hole. It's going to be a tough play. And Lovett way too fast to get down to first. Infield single for her.
Smart play at short by Katie Kerr, too. She knew she couldn't get her, even with the strong throw across the diamond, as strong an arm as she had. don't want to risk any kind of error and allow Wapakoneta to get into scoring position. So now an interesting question for Coach Salmons. Renee Levitt led off the bottom of the first with a single and then was caught stealing. We'll see if they put her in motion. Celina likes to pitch Carly Salmons away.
Ball one, Salmons showing bunt. Trying to get Levitt up to second base. Good finish in this one. 4-3 our score. Celina ahead. Puts down the bunt right in front of the plate. A little bit foul though as Vogel gets to it, 1-1.
Good idea, and we have to mention Salmons has great speed too, so she's not just looking to sacrifice. She has the wheels to get down that first base line and put 2 runners aboard with no outs, but most importantly, put the tying run at second base.
That's what she wants to do. Puts down a bunt, throw to first. Bulldogs make the play there on the 5-4 put out. More importantly, Celina gets that tying run over to second base. So good job by Carly Salmons.
Good throw by Leah Rose. First baseman Cassandra Williams getting down so the throw could go through cleanly to the covering Katie Kuhn. So Carly Salmons does her job. Now it's the young lady who's been on base all 3 times today, Amy Hume, trying to come through in the clutch.
2 singles and a walk for Hume. Takes a first pitch strike at the letters from Kylie Bader.
Bader coming with that fastball to start things up, perhaps a little bit of a rise to it.
Bader trying to get the save here. Her girls leading 4-3. A liner foul. Quickly, no balls, 2 strikes. That's what Bader wants to do, but Hume's a very good 2-strike batter. We saw that in her last at bat, drawing a walk in the 5th inning.
Yeah, after she was down 0-2 in the count.
Good eye, 1-2 now.
Bader almost caught the corner on that. Katie Sawmiller awaits on deck. She drove in the 3rd run with a deep fly to center. And Hume wants to try and dictate the pace. She'll step out.
Renee Levitt at second base, trying to get home and tie this thing up. Battle by Hume. She'll foul another one away.
Celina still has Shawnee on its schedule. Wapakoneta still has to play Bath, so lots to be decided still in the Western Buckeye League.
Ground ball through the middle. That's a base knock. They'll wave the runner home. The throw to the plate. Not in time. Wapakoneta ties it up on the single by Amy Hume. What a big hit and what a day for her. Her 3rd hit. Levitt scores a tying run. Wapakoneta was down 4-0. They've come back and tied this one up at 4.
And perhaps most importantly, Amy Hume's on second base. She was able to advance on the throw home. So just like that, the Redskins have the game-winning run out there in scoring position for Katie Sawmiller, who certainly knows how to give it a ride.
Sawmiller today has reached on a fielder's choice, flew out and grounded out, sends this one right to Katie Kuhn there at second base. And on the little fly out, there's 2 down in the inning for Ashley Cox.
Cox is 0 for 3 on the day. Couple ground outs to the pitcher and shortstop, and then a pop to the second baseman.
So Cox will try to win it here with a base hit, and Bill Salmons would like to talk to her quickly.
Steve Trout takes a look at the clouds as we now have a tie ball game, and extra innings could be coming. Christy Bailey's on deck if Celina would choose to pitch around Cox. But I'm sure Bader's coming right at her.
High for ball 1.
First base is open, of course.
Could set up a force at any base by a walk, so a walk not necessarily a bad thing in this situation.
Nope, and you're getting down further in the batting order.
Liner to short. Throw to first. Bulldogs make the play. They give up the 1 run, though, which ties our ball game at 4. We're seeing extra innings from Wapakoneta High School. We're tied at 4 on the West Ohio Sports Network. Extra softball on this afternoon from Wapakoneta. We're tied up at 4 in the top of the 8th. As that pitch is down low to Leah Rose. Rose a strikeout, a single, and a flyout, so 1 for 3. She's also scored a run.
Scored on that 2-run homer by Alexis Zacharias, who waits in the on-deck circle. 4 unanswered runs by Wapakoneta to tie this one and send us into extra innings. And by my recollection, this is the first extra inning game for either team, but I don't know that that is for certain.
2 balls and a strike to Leah Rose. It'll be Rose, Alexis Zacharias, and Katie Kerr. 4, 5, 6, plenty of power. Do up for the Celina Bulldogs. Trying to get things going here in the top of the 8th. That one missing 3 balls and a strike.
Good heat, but showing the patience and the discipline to watch it fly by as the team's leading home run hitter, Leah Rose, 4 on the season.
Down low. Go ahead run now at first base via the walk. And Alexis Zacharias, who's had a great day at the plate, comes up. She's a double short of the cycle. Triple, home run, single so far for her.
Such a powerful bat, and she's played a pretty good center field too. Made a big catch back in the 4th inning that denied Wapakoneta any other runs, or else this game might be over.
One 1-0 count on Zacharias as Renee Lovett has to be careful to her. Comes inside, now 2-0.
Control's starting to be an issue. 6 out of the first 7 pitches this inning have been balls.
A lot of pitches thrown here by Renee Lovett, now into her 8th inning of work.
Katie Kerr's in the on-deck area.
3-0. I think a walk may prompt Bill Sammons to the mound here. If Renee Lovett can't get Alexis Zacharias out. 3-0 count, 3-0 pitch is a strike, 3-1.
Softball pitchers obviously have the ability to go in back-to-back days. Unlike baseball pitchers, it's a more natural throwing motion underhand, but you got to wonder, coming off a game Monday, a doubleheader Saturday, an intense one here.
Fly ball into center field. This one dropped out in center field. The Redskins can still get the out at second base as they do, so no damage really done there on the play. So Zacharias on first base via the air, but Rose thrown out at second base on the 8-4 put out there.
So Katie Kerr comes up with 1 away. And she gets the signal from Coach Driggs down at third. Not a lot of gimmick plays from Celina. They're pretty much just hit it.
There's one into short center field. That one's going to fall in for a hit. Runner's going to move up to third. First and third for the Celina Bulldogs. That's a single there by Kerr. And wisely moving to third is Alexis Zacharias on the play. Good effort by the Redskin center fielder out there. Christy Bailey just couldn't quite corral it. And now Bill Simmons will come out to the mound and talk to his young ladies with an interesting situation coming up, Andy. First and third, 1 down.
Zacharias had a head of steam, and you could hear the Celina parents yelling, "Stop, stop," as she was pulling into third pretty quickly. But it is an interesting situation because Zacharias at third, Kerr at first, neither are huge base-stealing threats. So if Coach Driggs wants some kind of gimmick double steal play, maybe not ideal, but we'll see what Cassie Freeman can do, number 4. In the batter circle, maybe they try and bunt and do a safety squeeze type play. Obviously, you can't do a suicide squeeze in softball because you can't leave the base until the pitch has been thrown. So a little different than baseball, but Coach Driggs is just having a casual conversation down there with number 4 and also number 16.
So Cassie Freeman trying to get things going here for Celina, get across that go-ahead run, which is standing at third base. There's just 1 down in the inning. So the Skins hoping for maybe some strikeouts, maybe a double play here to get out of this top of the 8th. Freeman today, a ground out, hit by a pitch and struck out looking. She'll put down a bunt, and they're going to say foul ball, so 1 strike. Not a bad strategy there by the Bulldogs.
Charging home was Alexis Zacharias, so there was no doubt about that one. She was going on contact. Another opportunity here. We'll see if Celina keeps the play on. First baseman is just a step or 2 in. And third base, we see for Wapakoneta, Ashley Cox creeping in.
They're going to try to cut down that run at home if it comes down to it. One will be outside, a ball and a strike.
Didn't square around to bunt that time, so either she noticed it was a ball early on or the play had been taken off and was swinging away with Those corners drawn in and plenty of space between both first and second and then short and third.
Down low, 2 balls and a strike. It'd be interesting to see if Katie Kerr maybe tries to stir the pot a little bit, maybe try to steal second base.
Yeah, there's
make the Skins make a decision.
Plenty of room up the middle, and that would force either the shortstop or second baseman to try and cover. There goes Katie.
Yep. Okay, so she'll take second base on the 2-1 count. So now 2 runners, second and third with 1 down, takes away the double play ball now.
Question is, do they just let this be a 4th pitch to Freeman to put a force at any base?
Probably a good idea. I
Make
would
her
think
chase
at this
something.
Point.
Keep it out of the zone, I would imagine. Nope.
That's in there, and that's a base knock. 1 run is in, and an RBI single. The Bulldogs regain the lead. Cassie Freeman, her first hit of the ball game, is perhaps maybe the biggest hit of the ball game. It's Alexis Zacharias in to score. Brand new ball game. Bulldogs ahead 5-4 on the Wabash Mutual Telephone Company scoreboard.
That was a real nice piece of hitting. Just got a hold of one, got it through the hole there with the third baseman pinched in just a little bit. No time to recover. And so nice job by Celina, back in front.
Fair ball, first base. Good job by Stacy Miller to get the out. Throw over to third. Nothing doing there for the Bulldogs, but Stacy Miller alertly tagging the runner and looking to third. So nice job there by the Wapak first baseman on Haley McGilvery. So there's now 2 down in our bottom of the 8th, or top of the 8th.
Yeah, Kerr wasn't going on contact that time. She was waiting to see Celina try and throw it either to second or take it back to first, but a wise play by Wapakoneta's first baseman, Stacy Miller. Saw that the runner wasn't going, so fielded it in fair territory, just made the tag, didn't have to throw it anywhere. And just like that, there's 2 outs.
Cassandra Williams has reached base twice today. A hit and a fielder's choice, also grounded out. Can't catch up to that. Ball and a strike now. But the Bulldogs have the lead, at least going into the bottom of the 8th inning. 5-4 with still a couple runners out there and some insurance with Freeman and Kerr out there.
Yeah, those are big runners, especially since it's been a struggle for teams to get a lot of runs today. We're up to 17 combined hits. For a while there, probably 5 innings, we only had 9 combined hits between the 2 teams. The bats are starting to loosen up here a little bit as teams settle in. The rain has passed through.
Foul ball back to the screen.
Top of the order awaits for Celina if Williams can reach base. Kylie Bader is next up.
Ball and 2 strikes. Renee Levitt trying to get out of this with limited damage. Has given up the 1 run so far. Liner, ground ball to short, throw to first. Skins make the play. They leave 2 on base, but Celina gets ahead, gets across that go-ahead run. So we'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Skins will need to score at least 1 to continue. It's 5-4 after 7.5. Ball outside to Christy Bailey to open up our bottom of the 8th. The Skins need to get at least 1 across to keep this game going. It'll be Christy Bailey, Elizabeth Martin, Stacy Miller. 6, 7, 8 due up for the Wapakoneta Redskins. Christy Bailey, tough day so far. 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a ground out. Trying to get that lead runner aboard for Wapak and create some havoc out there.
Back certainly against the wall for a 2nd consecutive inning for Wapakoneta. They have battled all game long. 3 in the 5th. 1 to tie it last inning. They'll need at least another here.
Bailey behind, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bader trying to get through this 8th inning here.
Yeah, the good news for Celina is that it's getting towards the bottom of the order, 6, 7, and 8.
That one just missing. Bader wanted that call. 2 and 2.
Although 2 of the runs have come from the 8 and 9 spot. That's how Wapakoneta's gotten half their output.
Bader went from getting the save, or a chance to get the save, now in line to get a victory here. She can hold things together here in the bottom of the 8th. Chopper to third. It's going to go foul.
Elizabeth Martin waits in the on-deck circle. Stacy Miller will follow. You can go to WSN.TV to purchase DVD copies of any of our games from the fall, from the winter, from a couple of years ago. $25 gets you a nice keepsake and helps TV 44 Sports.
That's going to help out Wapakoneta big time, all the way to the fence. And a runner at second base, a leadoff double for Christy Bailey.
She dug into that one with absolutely no wind. Put it all the way to the fence, as you said, Chris. A nice job by Cassie Freeman to get out to it quickly, so holding her to just a double. If that one's down the right field line, that's a triple easy. But now we'll see what Elizabeth Martin is called upon to do. If it's a sacrifice situation, get the runner to third or let her swing.
Going to be a bunt. Line out, though, but no one covering second. So an out, and scampering back to second is Bailey on the play.
And that's tough. You have the wheel play on, so your second base, well, a version of the wheel play. The second baseman is coming in to cover. First base stays at home, and the shortstop is there to cover third in case you have a play at third. So really no chance of the double play unless Alexis Zacharias is coming in from center field to back up second.
First pitch is outside to Stacy Miller. Flew out, reached on an air, and singled so far today.
She had that big rip in the sixth inning between first and second, though was left stranded.
Take a strike, a ball on a strike now from Kylie Bader, trying to close things out here for the Celina Bulldogs. Wapak, that tying run out there at second base. A little low, 2 balls and a strike. Morgan Durr to follow.
Good scoop by Vogel, keep it in front of her, not allow the runner to advance. Big moments for catchers with the runner in scoring position. Wow.
Here's a liner into left field. That one just foul, so Miller put a charge into that. Just couldn't quite get it inside the white chalk.
The Redskins are up to 8 hits for the day. Celina's cranked out 10, so we're seeing the bats come alive as the game moves on. Part of it may just be that teams knew rain was coming, so they were swinging early, and we saw a quick first 3 or 4 innings. But now they've been able to relax a little bit, take a proper approach.
Kylie Bader gets the out at first base. Meantime, the runner moves to third. That's Christy Bailey. So there's 2 down now in the inning for Morgan Durr, who had a line drive to center but was out her last time up in the 6th inning.
Yeah, she really hit it hard. Everyone here in the press box behind home plate just kind of let out a whoa, because she stung it, but right at the center fielder. Came around to score the second run after walking in the 5th inning.
Officially 0 for 2 with a walk, trying to bring home that tying run.
Big first pitch there by Bader. Strike across the zone, setting up some off speed if she wants to come back with it.
And Bailey, too, has got to be aware at third base. A ball gets past Vogel. She may have a chance to come in and score, so a lot on the line here. That one just a little bit low for a ball and a strike.
Vogel had that in mind, pranced back up, and was ready to throw down to third if the runner was caught off too far.
Good WBL softball game. 5-4 Celina leading on the Wabash Mutual Telephone Company scoreboard. But the Skins that tying run at third base with 2 down. This one popped up into foul territory, and no one able to track that one down, so no harm, no foul there. But it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Big moment for both teams is try and stay in the Western Buckeye League hunt behind a couple unbeatens coming into play tonight. The Bath Wild Kittens, state ranked, I think 6th in Division II in the first poll. Just came out yesterday. And of course, Shawnee, who's made 3 consecutive regional appearances. They were also undefeated coming in.
Swing and a miss. Throw to first, and that will end this ball game as Celina will take it 5-4. Kylie Bader comes in and does get the save. This one goes an extra inning, but Celina gets a big run in the top of the 8th inning, and they're going to win the ball game by a score of 5-4. So Kylie Bader gets the victory. Renee Lovett tagged with the loss as Celina jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Ball game was tied at 4, and the Bulldogs push one across and get a huge WBL victory this evening on the road, Andy.
Yeah, certainly a good win for Celina. And now both teams are going to head to the center circle and join hands. And normally it's Redskin Bulldog, and they'll all pray together, a great act of sportsmanship and unity, and we certainly appreciate seeing that. But Celina sees its WBL hopes stay alive. Wapakoneta, they're going to need a lot of help if they can get back into this one. So we'll see if they just start to approach it, get ready for the postseason.
That will wrap things up for the broadcast booth here. As the final score once again, Celina 5 and Wapak 4. We'll give you a post-game interview and talk with the victorious Celina Bulldogs next on WOSN. One final time here at Wapak High School, Celina winning 5-4. Nicole Driggs joining me, the head coach of the Celina Bulldogs. You guys are up 4-0. Wapak comes back to tie it. You push one across there in the 8th and get the victory.
Yes, what a fight. You know, we expected this from Wapak. Last time we played them in tournament, it was a lights-out ball for them. It was a sharp game, 1-0 ball game, if you remember. And we expected that. I thought Lovett did a great job on the mound. She kept mixing up the speeds, and she had real control on that mound. And so we had to be disciplined. We had to go for our pitches and not force anything, but great pitcher, you're going to expect or ball games are going to be tight like that. They crept in. I'm not surprised they did. They're fighters. And they got heart out there, and they showed that. And they've got the team unity. They got everything it makes out there to make a great team, and they are. I'm very thankful that we ended up on top, and I'm thankful that we were aggressive and got that clutch hit when we needed it. So thank you, Cassie.
Big hit there by Cassie Freeman, making it a 5-4 ball game. How about Alexis Zacharias today? 4 hits, 2-run homer. How big was she for you on offense today?
Just a little. She's a little big. No, Alexis has been struggling the past 3 games, and she needed a real breakout game. This is what she does. And so I was really happy for the future for her. Today was a breakout again for her with getting her confidence back, and she showed that, her composure at the plate, fighting off the changeup, which ended up being a little bunt out in front, and fighting off getting to first. So I was I'm more pleased for the future, like I said, because when you break that, then your confidence is back. So, yeah, we got X back.
I think she got that confidence back today. Finally, Katie Kerr pitched in the first 4+ innings, and you brought in Kylie Bader. Was that the plan all along, or did you want Katie to go a little bit further than that?
Yeah, it is the plan. We've got 2 senior pitchers, and they both pitch differently. They both throw, they're both off-speed pitchers, so they throw differently. That was the plan. We wanted to shake things up. We learned a lot from our Bath game, and that was a hard one. And so we wanted to try things differently. So this past week, that's what we've been doing when we've had chances and opportunities to play. In regards to the future, I also have another pitcher too. We thought about throwing her today as well and just mixing it in. But Katie honestly was pitching. I thought she did a very, very good job for those first strong innings, but she did start slowing her arm up down a little bit. So, you just kind of tweak it as a coach and, okay, this is time. My other pitcher's ready to go. Got another senior. Let's go. I know we're still trying to work all that out, but I thought Kylie and Kate did a great team effort out there on the mound today.
Key WBL victory for the Celina Bulldogs. They take it 5-4 as we wrap things up here on WOSN. Kyle Pullman, Ben Reif, Kara Bankley, Randy Lynch, I'm Chris Parks. Thanks again for joining us for the broadcast today on the West Ohio Sports Network.